injuries reported, but the lesson is invaluable as Hawaii witnesses the power of the ocean and the importance of being prepared.
In high definition, simulcast on KGMB and KHNL. Live, local, connected at 10 o'clock. This is Hawaii News Now.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Keahi Tucker.
And I'm Stephanie Lum. We're learning more tonight about the cost and scope of damage from this morning's tsunami.
The most widespread tsunami to hit our state in more than 50 years, much of it caught on tape.
Whoa! Gosh, that is big. That is absolutely massive. Just lost my shoes. This is coming straight over the wall onto the main road. That is absolutely unbelievable. Here it comes again. Pouring over the wall. You can see a car making a run for it out there.
Incredible stuff. That's Ali'i Drive in Kona getting swamped this morning. Local leaders estimate damage in this area alone could top $10 million. Tonight, the governor has signed an emergency proclamation asking for federal funds to help with the cleanup. All Maui harbors remain closed, as well as Ke'ehi Harbor on Oahu. And at least 4 hotels were heavily damaged, 1 on Maui and 3 on the Big Island, including the Hualalai Resort, where these guests had to spend the night on the golf course. The spokesperson says the resort is closed indefinitely after its signature Beach Tree restaurant was wiped out by a late surge. All that's left is the kitchen. The resort's ponds are filled with debris, and there's major damage on lower units. All visitors were transferred to other hotels.
Hawaii County officials say dozens of homes and condos were damaged by the waves. The remote town of Napo'opo'o registered the largest wave in the whole state, a surge of nearly 10 feet that washed inland more than 100 feet. One house was pushed into the ocean where it sank up to its roof. Numerous vehicles in the same area were tossed around, nearly washed out to sea. A homeowner there says her family was nearly swept away when a large wave suddenly hit.
It's like he slammed the door and the water came in and it just swirled us around and we were just floating. And then we kind of landed, we hit into a tree, like up in this area up here. And trying not to panic, we waited for it to subside, and then literally he opened the door, and I don't know how I got out his door, but I just flew over it and ran. Ran for my life.
Ran for her life. More on this amazing video now. You can see why some businesses and historic sites along Kona's main drag suffered extensive damage. Ramsey Wharton continues our coverage from Ali'i Drive.
Good evening, everyone, from Kailua, Kona, where traffic is now open on Ali'i Drive. It was shut down for hours here. There was power out, but we're happy to report that is back on. Earlier today, public work crews were down here, and they were excavating this area. This is the damaged portion where that huge surge, several times we're told, came up over the seawall, damaging the street here, the sidewalk, rushing all the businesses up along here on Ali'i Drive. We're told that Bubba Gump's and other restaurants down here, the inn, were devastated tonight. Even some businesses are not open. They are staying closed. Big business lost today due to the tsunami that actually came right up over the wall here at Kailua Bay, spreading sand, rushing waters right into this building. You can see we have a heavy damage here. We've been showing you pictures all morning long and through the night as well, and we've been talking to different people. Your reaction, you said you spend part of your time here. Surprising.
It is surprising. It's amazing to see the devastation, but we're glad to see that there's no loss of life. And
just an airy point of view is just a speechless. Just it renders no way to describe it with words.
We're right inside the King Kamehameha Kona Beach Hotel. Behind us, you can see their main lobby area, and on the ground, tons and tons of sand. They have been cleaning it out of the front area, and this is one of the beautiful sculptures they have here. And all around it, broken glass, again, sand washed in from that huge surge of tsunami waves, and it actually pushed its way all the way towards the back of the hotel. A lot of the retailers in the Kailua-Kona area, especially along Ali'i Drive, suffering similar damage. They estimate at the very minimum early on at least $10 million. And Tanny and her mom, Cindy, just opened up a few months ago. We're going to come down. We have broken glass all through here. And Tanny, you have just quite a mess on your hands.
Quite a mess. I walked into the shop this morning. I only had 3 empty racks in my shop. I had to go all over the beach, the back parking lot, everywhere, and collect all my clothes. They were in the luau grounds. They were all over the place.
So reporting from Kailua-Kona, we'll be bringing you some more stories. We'll put them up on the website as well. Ramsey Wharton, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Ramsey. A lot of cleanup to be done in Kailua-Kona. Now back to that emergency proclamation. Governor Abercrombie says there is at least $3 million in damage to state infrastructure, mostly harbors. Brooks Bayer continues our team coverage. Brooks.
The step Governor Abercrombie, as you said, signed that emergency proclamation. It is the first step towards securing federal disaster money to help pay for repairs.
This is going to be a considerable financial burden to assume.
Abercrombie says the west-facing shores of the Big Island were hardest hit, but all islands suffered damage. The small boat harbor at Ke'ehi Lagoon needs extensive repairs. As water rushed in and out of the lagoon, piers were ripped free, dragging hundreds of boats with them.
Their whole dock took off and went through that dock, this dock, this dock. His boat is crushed, and it's taken out a bunch of boats.
We just got off, just in time. Just in time. Everything was just coming in. The trimaran is gonna run over our boat.
I came off the boat in time to see the boats coming towards us, the pier coming apart.
Damage to these particular piers could be as high as $1 million. And then there are some privately owned piers, and I am told just by a rough estimate that damage to the private side of Ke'ehi Lagoon may be up into the millions.
There is also damage at the Waianae Boat Harbor and in Haleiwa.
You could hear a lot of snapping and cracking, and I think a few things got broken out in the harbor over here. After the water receded, we saw a few fish flapping around on the parking lot.
Despite the damage, many, including the governor, are breathing a sigh of relief, knowing it could have been a lot worse.
The tsunami effects were minimal in terms of the kinds of damage that was seen elsewhere in the world, particularly in Japan.
There is concern the devastation in Japan will have a negative impact on the visitor industry here.
That core business to Hawaii is not just business. It's a relationship that goes back generations. So for us, it's not about the money right now. It's about making sure that our visitors get back home safely, making sure that the Japanese people know that Hawaii cares about them and that we send our aloha to them.
Hawaii Tourism Authority President Mike McCartney is still doing an inventory of damage to hotels and resorts, but wants the world to know that despite the tsunami, Hawaii is still very much open for business. The governor's emergency proclamation also enables him to mobilize the National Guard, but right now it does not look like that will be necessary. I'm Brooks Bayer for Hawaii News Now.
Thank you so much, Brooks. On Maui, 4 boats sustained major damage at Ma'alaia Harbor. At least 4 homes were flooded as well. The mayor took a chopper flight to survey the island today and says there were spots where the surges reached at least 100 yards inland. In Kahului, crews spent the day with a tractor clearing big tree branches that were pushed on shore. Witnesses tell us water was visibly receding throughout the day, even after the tsunami warning was canceled. And there was also a bit of a rescue in Kahului. Firefighters were going to save that Hawaiian green sea turtle, which was pushed on shore by the wave surges. Careful, guys. We're told the Honu made it safely back into the water.
And over on Kauai, some pictures of a tsunami wave surge. Now, first you see the water rush onto the banks, and then quickly it recedes, leaving wide swaths of sand, only to be followed by another wave of water covering the road. Public Works road crews spent part of the day clearing sand that had washed ashore. County officials say reports of 6 to 8 foot waves came in at Hanalei. Now, no major damage along the coastline on the Pineapple Isle, but there was lots of water moving at Lanai's Manele small boat harbor. The surges ripped apart the dock and put at least 1 sailboat there underwater. A lot of people are going to be cleaning up this weekend.
Yeah, how's the weather for home